the faces at. I need to see faces. Um, Relax. You guys been cooking the cut like for the last 2 weeks. Um, and Reek, I don't I don't know what's going on with Reek's cut, but mine is cool now. But I mean the cam's still off. We're gonna go pure audio today, which means that we'll uh, be on Spotify podcast, and also Apple podcast as well. What we were supposed to do at the first, this is how it's supposed to roll. Say, Rick, if you remember, we were supposed to go pure audio anyway. Rick, talk to me.
Yep.
Just make sure I know
Yeah.
you're there.
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Yeah. All right. So, guest of the show tonight, um, two-time NVL Player of the Year. I see him over there cheesing now. Yeah. Man, Knostman. I'm not gonna say Knostman. We said that like the whole entire first game. I mean, the whole entire first game.
You did. That was
But
you. I
we're
had
gonna
it
talk
right. That was
about.
you, Trey.
Say, Rick, what you saying to me?
I said you that was missing. Name.
Relax. But yeah, this one's we're gonna call this Wacky Thursday because this whole thing is off. Like I can barely hear Rick. I don't know what is going on with his stuff. Um, it's kind of Rick. You're kind of lagging, but we're gonna work through it, I guess. Um, but as we was telling you guys that we were doing the Southwest bracket Springfield. We was doing all of those teams. Tippecanoe, Graham, Dunbar, they're good. Carroll, all of those teams right there. We covered those at the TKDS Sports Network, and Tip came out as we expected. I mean, we didn't really have any doubt. I mean, obviously, Carroll made it looked like they was about to make a Cinderella run with Marl Iguodate because it felt like those Dayton schools was kind of getting a little shaky or shivering in their boots whenever he started walking into the game. Rick, you got any elaboration on that, on what really happened between that division?
I mean, Carol just is on like a little bit of a Cinderella run, like you said, but it's like they were down early in that game, but they didn't seem shook at all. They were like, okay, let's rev it on the defensive side. You know, they made the adjustment run the zone against Carroll, really slowed the game down, and that defense is what won that game. Offensively, they wasn't great. They were just making enough plays on that side of the floor while the defense was still all day long. So you kind of expected it. Maybe not. They probably didn't play as great as they wanted to, but they get a chance to finish it this Saturday.
All right, Rick, I sent you another link. I'm gonna talk while you join back, but you sound crazy static. I'm pretty sure mine is cool because I just looked at it and looked in the restream, and I'm cool as of now. So I don't know if it's maybe just a thing, but I did send it to you. But I'm just gonna go over some stats real quick while you join back, hopefully. So Miami Valley League, I'm not gonna say this wrong, but I mean it's kind of what it is. The Miami Valley League, if anyone's not familiar with it, I believe it started either 2 or 3 years ago. Every single one of these teams was in the G-Walk at one point. At one point in time, all of these teams was in the G-Walk, but obviously you see Tippecanoe 20-1, 16-0 in their own conference. The only loss coming to Mason, which they are the 7th seed in Division 1. So, I mean, they put up a fight, but at the end of the day, it goes how it goes. But our guest tonight, Ben Knostman, we can go up to stats right now, or let's go to all league team. We can go to 2021, 2020. You'll see his name in the same spot, Athlete of the Year. And also, I'm not going to go all the way back, but him and Zach Frederick, they were kind of the duo for their own teams. And let me add Reek back in here real quick. So I guarantee you it's probably like, where am I at? It's doing the same exact thing. Same exact thing. I wonder if I can just do this. Reek, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You here? You sound better. You sound better this time. Talk to me.
You tell what?
You about to say you're still crazy static. Answer this. We're about to do a true call in. There we go. All right. I'm gonna cut you out. So Reek, I'm gonna call you in now. Cause I don't know what's going on with the computer. It's acting a little goofballish. But can you say what you said again in that argument about the bracket?
Oh yeah, that sectional final game was interesting because Carroll got off to a really good start. I think they were up double figures in that first quarter, but Tip, they didn't seem wavered at all. Like they didn't seem shook, and they were able to get back into that game like pretty easily, especially when they revved it up on the defensive end. And their offense wasn't as great as they probably wanted it to be, but it was good enough for them to get that win. But they got a chance to make all the adjustments in their district final matchup against Indian Hills, correct?
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah. So, as I was talking about when you were gone, I was just saying that he is two-time player of the year, and this is how it went when we walked into the building. We knew how good Tip was, but we were kind of unfamiliar on who was it, because me and Tyreek, we get like half of or 75% of our info from Hoop Vault. So we just went and looked at a couple of things that Hoop Vault had already posted, and then we just kept seeing Zach Frederick. And I was like, man, let me just go ahead and go to the league stats real quick. And then this struck Reek's eye off the bat. He was like 14, 9, and 9. So he was like, he's almost averaging a triple dub. And then Rick was like, oh, okay. And then he just found out instantly. I mean, he can tell you on how that went. I mean, Rick, you're high. I mean, you're high about him. Like, yeah, I say you're high about him. Like, why is that?
Oh, well, it's just like the way that he affects the game on both ends of the floor. And like, obviously, like, I think it was 15, 9, and 9 was the exact numbers when we checked them before that first sectional game. But I mean, obviously, you see the numbers, like, okay, well, let's see it on the floor. And like I told you after the game, like, I see why he almost averages a triple double, because like he's always in like the right place at the right time. Like the instincts, the court vision is off the charts, and he just picks and chooses his spots on the offensive side. Even though he'll probably tell us himself, like, he probably didn't shoot the ball as well as he wanted to in sectionals. But you can tell, like, you can see why he's such a great all-around player. It's a great thing to watch on the court.
And we're just gonna go off topic. Still basketball though, not on boys, but we're gonna go to girls. So I get a video message from yours truly, Tyreek Hutchinson, ecstatic that the Wayne Warriors girls team came out with their dub against Mason, and then me, I was just sitting in the corner about to shed a couple of tears because my Centerville Elks got absolutely hammered against Mount Notre Dame by like 30. I don't know. It was 30, but I don't know if it was like 30 something. But Wayne has to play them at the end of the day. So Reek, I need your analysis right now. Who's coming out of that game? Is it tomorrow?
Ooh, I think
tomorrow Saturday. Tomorrow Saturday.
Wait, no, Saturday because they play Wednesday, so it's gonna be Saturday. Put me on the spot. Come on, man. I've been Wayne trained all year long on the girls' side, man. Like, hey, Bree Hall, I don't think she's going down without a fight. It's gonna be a tough one though, for sure, because they got some hoopers over there. Mount Notre Dame does. Then they got a Michigan commit and a 4-star recruit that's only a junior. Like, yeah, they got a tough squad. So it's gonna take not just Bree Hall. Alyssa Hall's really gonna have to step up. Lovey Malone, they really got to step up. Like, it's going to have to be a team effort. They have to lock in on the defensive side, but I think that they can pull it off.
And one last before we bring Ben in. So we have did D2 and D3 girls on at Springfield High School. It's Aiden, or what is it? Baden versus Kara. I was about to say, I'm thinking like, man, what's going on? Now I'm thinking about the other side. It's Purcell Marion versus Worthington Christian. So I'm gonna do that Purcell Marion and Worthington Christian game because last night I thought we was about to get a case of deja vu because it seemed like the same exact things was happening as what happened last year. It was almost the same exact date. So what do you think ended the Anna Rockets game from not being what it could have been? I mean, it seemed like they was about to come back. Like they had all the momentum, and then Purcell Marion just snatched it right back.
Honestly, it seemed like if they maybe had some more time in that game, they might have been able to pull it off. But they did get it within 3, and then their offense just stuttered at the end. Like, that zone really messed them up. It seemed like they didn't know how to execute against a 2-3 zone. Like, they got the ball to the middle of the zone, but they never looked to the opposite side of the court because they had a shooter open like 3 different times. And they didn't swing the ball. They tried to attack the zone in the middle, and they kept trying to attack Janae Rose. She's like 6'3", 6'4", and she was blocking everything on the inside. So that's just not a good decision. That's ultimately what, led their comeback to be a little short. But I thought the game was over with like 5 minutes left. I called it over at that point when it was down 15. But they made a good effort to come back. But I think Purcell Marion, they took that game personal because of what happened last year. So, they're a team that's on the mission for sure.
All right. And then we're going to bring Ben Knostman in. How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing all right. So this is how it's going to roll. Even though Reek's on FaceTime, he usually does the interview, so I'm going to keep it that way. I'm not about to try to talk crazy. But Reek, the interview, it's all yours. I'm about to say he can't. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. So I'm now thinking like, can he even hear you?
I can hear him all right. It's not too bad.
I'll say, talk for me.
Me or Ben?
Say, Ben, you can say something. Make sure he hears you.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear him.
All right. So he can go on.
All right, like we said, don't really need too much of an introduction. 2-time player of the year in the Miami Valley League, Ben Knostman. Ben, how you doing, bro?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, trying to get through all this, technical issues. But let's talk about you, man, your team. Kind of a wild season. You guys only with 1 loss. I believe the 1 loss came at the very last game of the regular season against Mason. But, just talk me through, like, y'all season because, obviously with COVID and all that, it's kind of been a wild year. So just tell me about your season, bro.
Yeah, it's been a crazy season. It kind of stinks that we couldn't have had fans this year because it's been a really good season all around. We had Sydney played us really, really well this year. We had probably 2 or 3 close games with them, and then Butler the last time we played them played us really close. We honestly probably deserved to lose that game, but we somehow came out with the W. So that was nice. But it's just been we have a pretty good league, a lot of really good teams, and then we somehow came out undefeated, which is crazy. First time in a long time.
Definitely. Do you guys think like the loss at the end of the year was good for you guys? Because obviously there's a lot of pressure being undefeated heading into the tournament.
Yeah, it was kind of the slap in the face that we needed. That Mason team's really good. They play fundamental and just screen the hell out of you. So it was really good playing them, but it was definitely nice to have that loss coming into it, not having the pressure of undefeated and just going in and saying that's what we need to fix.
Definitely. And let's talk about your guys' sectional matchups. First 2 games you guys won pretty handily. But the sectional final, like, you guys were down double figures early. And then I seen that after the end of the first quarter, that defensive intensity really ramped up. And you guys switched to a zone to start that game, which you hadn't done the first 2 games of sectional. So talk to me about, the adjustments and how you guys were feeling when you were down double figures early in that game.
Yeah, they started off crazy hot. So the main objective of that game was trying to force them to take mid-range shots, and they were taking mid-range shots and they were hitting them. So there just wasn't really much that we could do. But going into the game, they played a lot like Mason. And we played man against Mason, and that didn't work well. So we knew coming in we couldn't really go against their screen. So we tried to go zone, make sure we got up to their two shooters, and then just box out and push the ball.
Definitely. And you guys' coach, is it Tim? What's your coach's name again? I forget.
Adam Tui.
Okay, yeah, Coach Adam. I seen him make a lot of adjustments just in your 3 games in sectionals. Like when you guys played against Graham, you guys took Brady King completely out of that game. Like he was seeing 2 bodies, and then obviously you guys went zone against Carroll. So just talk to me about Coach Adam. How is he as a coach playing for him?
Yeah, he's really good. He loves the adjustments. We watch a lot of film. So as a team, usually players make the scout, and then they watch film and give us clips to watch and stuff like that. And we're supposed to all get 2 to 4 hours a week of watching their team, seeing what they do and stuff like that. And then every single practice we go up against our JV, and the JV tries to implement the plays from the other team. We just go against that and see what we need to fix and stuff like that.
That's dope, man. It's always great, having a coaching staff that preps you so well for your game, and that's why y'all have been so good this season.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me about district finals coming up on Saturday against Indian Hills. What do you guys know about them, and how are you feeling heading into that game?
They got some really good players. They have 2 really good shooters, a good ball handler that slashes, and they got a 6'10" guy that's obviously going to be hard to guard. But just going in, we're trying to make sure just box out, get really good rebounds, and then just keep it up tempo, keep it our pace, how we want to play. But they're a really good team. It's going to be a hard fought game. We should hopefully we come out on top, but it's definitely going to be a tough game.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be a battle for sure. But you said, you guys are going to be well prepped for that game. And I'm hoping y'all win because we're going to be covering regionals next week. So I'm hoping that you guys pull this one out.
Okay, same here.
For sure. So we already talked about 2 times player of the year, and our first introduction to you was seeing your statistics, 15, 9, and 9 on the season. And I was looking at that, I'm like, bro, I was wondering if it was a typo or not. I'm like, okay, let's see how he plays. And I can see why you almost average a triple-double. So just tell me about that. Is that in your mind, or you just always want to just try and affect the game, by grabbing the rebound, being able to start the break? Because, a lot of point guards like to do that. That's the easiest way to start the break. So, is that just a part of your game, just being an all-around player, or are you chasing those triple-doubles, or just tell me about that?
It's never usually really about the statistics. It's kind of right now I have a lot of great shooters around me. Zach Frederick, Gavin Garlis, they both shoot plus 40%. Griffin's shooting plus 40% too. So it's really easy for me. And then with the break, we always try to run 2 guys. So I go get the rebound and then try to push it out to them and just get in transition because we love playing fast. Makes it a lot easier.
I also wanted to ask that because I know some teams, they box out so their point guard can't get the rebound to start the break faster. Do you guys do that, specifically to start the break, or is it just, you being a great rebounder?
It kind of just happens. We don't really we don't plan for it in practice, but it kind of just happens. And then as it's happened, we kind of do it more. And they kind of know I should get that rebound, so they kind of leak out a little bit more.
Okay. I want to ask you about your passing because you're a great passer. You have great court vision. I got to tell you that. When did that develop? And how are you so good with your left hand too? Because you probably pass just as well with your left as you do with your right, maybe even better, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, yeah. Growing up, my dad was a point guard in high school, and then so he always said just an assist is better than a score, stuff like that, and that was always what he said. And then also just being able to use both hands, most people can't. So if I can come down there, go left or right, and then zip a quick one-handed pass, it's always going to work, and people just aren't really usually ready for that.
Definitely. Are there any players that you look up to from a playmaking aspect? I know you said your dad, but is there anybody else that you've watched growing up that, you took some things from their game from a playmaking aspect?
Yeah, probably Luka Doncic is the best. I'm from Dallas, so I really love him, watching him play, and just how he kind of controls the entire pace of the game.
Now, I know that you're from Dallas. That's dope. Yeah, Luka's He's a magician with the ball for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who are your top 5 passers all time? It can be in no order.
Top 5 all time. Steve Nash has to be up there. John Stockton. I don't know. Magic Johnson too has to be. And then the other two, I might say White Chocolate, just because of how flashy he was and how he created everything for everybody. And then fifth,
I had a
I
feeling you was
don't,
gonna
I
say
don't know
White
for
Chocolate.
sure.
I didn't mean to cut you
Oh
off.
yeah, I love
I was
him.
gonna say him though.
I love him. Yeah, it just the way the elbow pass, all that stuff, the way he looked off defenders. I watched him quite a bit because he definitely he reads the game, and he also he uses his eyes so well. If you look one way, the entire defense is going to shift that way, and then you can pass it the other way, and it's just wide open. I really like him. I'd probably say for fifth, Jason Kidd or something like that. I don't really know for sure.
And I was telling Trey when we was watching you, I was like, your game kind of reminds me a little bit of Jason Kidd. Big guard, able to defend really well, rebound really well, and court vision off the charts. Don't take the jumper as much, but you will take it if you have to. So, yeah, you remind me a lot of Jason Kidd.
Thanks.
For sure. And you're committed to Winthrop University, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I want to ask you, what was your recruiting like? Like, who was all recruiting you, and what ultimately led you to committing to Winthrop?
I made the decision a little bit early because of COVID and all that stuff. But I think at the end, the top 3 were Wright State. I had Lehigh for a little bit, but then their offer went away. And then Northern Arizona. Those are and then Winthrop too, were kind of my top 4. And Winthrop just really stuck out. I love their coaching staff. They're doing great this year. I think they only have 1 loss. They're supposed to be a 12 seed in March Madness, so I really like that. And then I also they get to play Duke usually once a year, so that's gonna be really cool being able to go on there and play Duke.
Yeah, that would be dope, especially if fans are allowed back in the building. That would be a great experience for sure.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel like you need to improve on when you move on to the next level?
The biggest thing right now is just my body. I'm a little bit too light. Need to get up to 195, 200 around that range, and try and increase my vertical along with that. And then just getting a little bit more confident with my shot, making sure I get my free throw percentage up a little bit, and then can knock down threes a little bit better.
Yep. Well, with your body, they gonna put you in that weight room for sure.
Yeah.
Put you in that weight room.
For sure.
So I want to ask you this. I like to ask players this because everybody gives a different answer and it's a different perspective. Who's the toughest player that you've ever had to guard?
Toughest player I've ever had to guard? Probably Andre Gordon from Sydney. He was just a beast. He's the one guy that I've guarded that could turn it on and off. He would start the game slow and just would let everybody else go, and then he would flip a switch and just go off, and there was nothing you could do. He just went right by you. It was crazy.
Hold on, Rick, before you even say something. Now that I'm thinking about it, you are the first person that has brought up anyone from the NBL, because I wasn't even thinking about that until you just said something about Andre. Because you went against Amari too, didn't you?
Yep, I went against Mari, and I went against Samari Curtis too. Yeah, that was a rough sophomore year. That was my first year playing varsity, and it was rough.
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, nobody said anybody even from previous years has all been this season mainly. But yeah, Andre, he's tough. He's tough for sure. That's a good answer. So give me your top 3 favorite hoop shoes.
Top 3 favorite hoop shoes? I like Curry's, Kobe's, and then probably I like Kyrie's a lot too. Kyrie's and KD's.
Everybody says Kyrie's. I love Kyrie's too, but that's on everybody's list that we've asked that question.
Yeah, they're nice. PGs are really comfy too.
So is there a player that you wish you could have played with in high school?
I don't really know for sure. My freshman year, we had Caden Smith. I don't know if you know him, but he plays. I think he plays over at Lourdes University or something like that. I really wish I could have played varsity my freshman year, play with him a little bit, and I would give him the ball and just let him go to work. He averaged like 23, 24 my freshman year. Really looked up to him.
I remember him. I never got to see him play, but I heard like he was definitely the real deal for sure.
Yeah.
So let's hear about your music taste. Give me your top 5 favorite artists.
Top 5 favorite artists. One's probably Polo G. Gotta say Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Baby. Gunna's up there, but I don't know if he's top 5. I don't really know the last 2, but those are my top 3. Those are who I kind of rotate through the most.
Top 3 ain't bad. I mean, I'm messing with Polo and Lil Baby. Them is like my 2 favorite right now, most likely. Throw a little Dirk in there too. The last question I got for you, bro. Who should be our next guest on the show? And when you answer this, we might need your help getting this person on.
And also, before you say it, it will not be like this. I don't know what is going on with this. Like, right after we get done, I'm gonna have to find out. And also, I don't even think you were gonna go this route. But just to let you know, it cannot be anyone from Springfield, Ohio, or Heber Heights, Ohio. But the floor is yours.
Okay. You guys are good too. I understand. But I mean, Zach from my team is definitely a good one because he's been putting up crazy numbers in the tournament right now. But I'd probably say I think Tyler Montague would be a really good one. He went off this year in the NBL, just averaging so many points. He was space guard almost every game too. Just I have a lot of respect for his game. He's not in the tournament anymore, but he's a really good player.
Hey, sounds good. I could probably reach out to Zach myself, but if you can reach out to Tyler, see if you might want to hop on. Hey, we really appreciate that, bro.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, sir. Well, Ben, we appreciate your time. Good luck Saturday. Expecting big things out of y'all. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, that's the show, y'all. Trey, you got anything else to add?
If you guys, they're playing in Charlotte. Never mind. Actually, before I'm gonna say anything now, I think you should have seen me and his face when we looked, or when he sent me the bracket thing, because in our heads we were going off of what they were doing for regionals. I don't know what bracket it was that we were looking at. It was like going off neutral site, or not neutral site. It was going off like the winners home bracket quarter or something like that. So we was like, okay, no matter what happens, we're still gonna watch them play regardless. They're gonna play in Springfield. And then we look at the thing, and then we see Trotwood. I'm like, Trotwood? We're not even doing Trotwood as a network. So I say, he already said it, but I'm going to say it too. Good luck to you guys. Hopefully you guys come out of it, because we'll be seeing you guys next week if you do against, I don't know who's in that other bracket. I'm not even trying to get to him now. But
yeah.
But other than that, thank you guys for tuning into the show. Numbers was kind of low and steady, but I mean, that's how it goes. But we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for tuning in.